Friday, June 6th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here with you. There's a pretty shot from the Avalon Pier web camera this morning out over the Atlantic Ocean as we gear up for sunrise. Cutting the video about 5:30 this morning, and the temperature there along that part of the Outer Banks in the mid-60s with a calm wind. Now, yesterday it was another pretty hot day across the region, especially when you got down into the southern Piedmont, the Sandhills region. You had Fayetteville hits 97 degrees, 96 in Columbia, 91 down in Charlotte and Raleigh, 90 in Greenville. So it was a hot day yesterday. This morning, we're seeing a little bit of a cooler air mass begin to settle in, especially over the western and northern halves of North Carolina. Take a look at our 24-hour temperature change map. 11 degrees cooler now than it was at this point yesterday in Greensboro. 7 degrees cooler in Charlotte. 4 degrees cooler in Raleigh. Winds behind a front shifting around to a more northerly direction, especially when you get across the Interstate 85 corridor, and that is bringing in a little bit of a drier air mass. You notice the dew point down to 54 in Greensboro and 59 in Charlotte. Still pretty muggy as you head further to the east and south, though. Here we go. Here's your setup today. That frontal boundary is stalled out off to the south of us, and that'll be where the best zone of shower and storm chances will be for today. I'll show you more on that in just a second. This is the current spin around the radar as I'm cutting the video, again, about 5:30 this morning. Decaying area of rain and thunderstorms through Georgia and South Carolina. Another cluster of a few thunderstorms back off to the northwest and northern Alabama, Tennessee, and Arkansas. And it was a pretty active severe weather day again. I don't know if you've seen any of the news stories. Some tremendous wind damage with a big complex of storms that blew up in Kansas and then dropped southeast from there all the way off of the coast early this morning. So quite a complex of storms that caused a lot of wind damage. So as we go through today, really for a lot of North Carolina, pretty nice day. Now down along the coast, they say the Wilmington area down to the South Carolina coast, still a good chance of some showers and storms today. And anywhere in South Carolina could pick up a few storms, but a lot of North Carolina with a mainly dry day. Highs today across the region, here we go, 80s in most spots, still around 90 in Columbia though. Now as you get into the day tomorrow, that's when the moisture begins to try to increase. So I think parts of the Carolinas begin to see a few thunderstorms. That would mainly be into South Carolina and then up into the western half of North Carolina. Highs tomorrow for your Saturday in the 80s. And then a better chance still of some afternoon thunderstorms Sunday as that next cold front approaches. Again, western Carolinas seeing the lion's share of that with some scattered afternoon thunderstorms Sunday and highs in the 80s. If you are beach bound, say heading to the Outer Banks, looks great. Upper 70s with sunshine Saturday and Sunday. If you're heading down to around the Wilmington area, again, thunderstorms still around today, but tomorrow and Sunday looking very, very nice. All right, our tropical update will focus down in the southern Gulf of Mexico in the Bay of Campeche. There's an area of low pressure center very close to the coast of Mexico, but it has actually gotten a little bit better organized, and if necessary, a reconnaissance flight will head into that area of low pressure this afternoon. Now, in terms of where this is headed, not much of anywhere, just kind of meandering near the the Mexico coast, staying well south of Texas, and already been a lot of rain down there and more rain to come. Look at the GFS rain totals there, really piling up. So additional big problems down in especially Mexico with flooding and mudslides. All right, here's a look at the upper air chart for today off the European model. Now watch what happens over the weekend. We get this little disturbance. There's several of these. There's one, there's another one, there's another one. And those are going to be very hard to individually time out, but each of those will bring an enhanced opportunity for some scattered, primarily afternoon thunderstorms. There's another more potent disturbance arriving midweek next week on the European model. So you go day by day. This is what Saturday looks like. So western North Carolina down through South Carolina and Georgia, some scattered thunderstorms. Better chances, I think, Sunday. A little better coverage of some thunderstorms Sunday as one of those disturbances ripples our way. Maybe fewer storms again Monday, and then increased storm chances again by midweek next week. But again, those are really splitting hairs at this point. It's going to be tough to nail down those individual days with a better coverage of thunderstorms too far in advance. Quickly, the GFS. This is tomorrow on the GFS, and that is Sunday. Again, you're looking at just the chance of some afternoon storms. Western North Carolina down into South Carolina. All right, that is it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Everybody have a wonderful weekend, and God bless.